Hey guys, what's up? It's Schla. Be coming back to ya with another episode of Car Rides with Schla. And yesterday was a fairly um, eventful day. I didn't think it would be like that, but turned out I ended up doing quite a bit, so I didn't really get a true break to relax. But um, ooh, that's no good. I hope that yanking on the cord didn't do nothing. I don't know. I'm iffy about this mic now ever since it randomly gets that crackling. Like I'm kind of not really sure about that. And, yeah. Anyways, yeah, that crackling thing gets on my nerves. We need to get a new mic, but I'm just kind of waiting, I guess. Waiting for some. I mean, I don't know what I'm waiting for, honestly, but anyways, I don't think we're gonna get there in as good of a time today. I think we're gonna be a little bit later than yesterday, which isn't good. I keep trying, but it's just this morning what I was gonna say, and I don't know if I've mentioned this before or not, but basically I think it should be common knowledge, but it's obviously not common knowledge that you're not really supposed to eat before you sleep. It disturbs your sleep quality and blah blah blah. There's like this whole thing about it. So usually on my usual routine, I'm actually in like a severe fast because my last meal is actually at, I think, yeah, 1 p.m. usually. So, and then if I go to bed at 8 or 9, sadly it hasn't been 8. I mean, I'd want to go to bed at 8, but I usually, it's usually more like 9 these days. Um, if you're going to bed, that's like a pretty good buffer. But yeah, it's like everybody eats dinner though. Sometimes, like, usually dinner's like the biggest meal of the day, and it's such a backwards like way of doing things. But I guess it's like a human emotional kind of thing where it just fits in, like, and it mentally is the most satisfying, so people gravitate towards like that big meal at the end of the day. It's also, if you're not good at planning, which many people are terrible at planning, even people who are good at planning, like, because I like obsess about planning, but there's times I mess up with planning too. So humans are just like terrible at it. Period. Even the best of us. But anyways, I I think it's just some like emotional error that people like to eat late because, again, chances are if you're bad at planning, you're going to end up eating more food later in the day because that's usually when you're going to have the most time, is when you're home from work. Now you're like, oh, what am I going to do? I'm going to eat. I didn't eat anything all day. You know what I'm saying? Whereas I don't have that problem now that, I eat twice a day. It's very regimented. And it's, you know, once in the morning, basically right after I wake up, and then once, around the middle of the day. And because it's a hearty, um, high protein, high fat meal, it definitely lasts me. Like, I never really feel hungry. You know what I mean? But, on occasion, my family or whatever, they end up getting food, and then like I'm cool with eating it, like, because it's just like, I'm cool with that. And but yeah, every time I have a meal like kind of later before bed, I notice it so much in my sleep. Like it's extremely obvious that the sleep quality is worse. So what I'm saying is this morning I was somewhat tired, and I'm not. That's why I'm probably gonna be a few minutes later than I was yesterday. Even though really what I would like to see would be myself being a few minutes earlier than yesterday, but that evidently is not going to happen. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't really know what else to mention about that. But yeah. So that's where we're at. It's and I don't know. I mean, so many people argue with me about sleep. They they really do. Like it's like crazy the amount of people that try to argue with me and try to say, like, I can't even believe it, you know. Um but again, I think a lot of people, like, they make claims, and then the way their life is, it's in a way where it's not even at the same octane. Like, it's not really at the same. For me, I'm literally like, like, I'm ready to converse. I really like to focus and have longer conversations and things like that. Similar to, I mean, when I'm on this show, and like, this is the kind of things I want to talk to people about. And it's so often that instead, it's like people who can't, like, they're not able to, like, it's like, and I think the poor sleep is a huge part of that. Like, I think if everybody had perfect sleep, there would be such a profound difference in their ability to function and communicate and think about things. But oftentimes, like, especially now, people sleep it's so terrible, it's not really surprising that, like, we have the problems that we have, and all this stuff, because it's like everybody's on terrible sleep, and then these same people are insisting that they're fine. In some cases they're like, oh, I'm fine, like, everything, I'm good. That's what they're like insisting, but it's like they're not. And I just don't understand why everybody's so insistent on arguing about stuff that they don't really know anything about. And that's why, like, it's scary. It's very scary for me to be like living in this world, because I become vilified for like pushing back. Like, no, like, you would, if you're only getting 4 to 6 hours of sleep, if you got like 7 or 8, you would be happier. You would be in better shape. And then, the other person tells me, no, like, it's fine for me. I feel fine. I know I'm fine. It's just like, these are things that there's not really any time for debate about. There's just not. And what I'm saying is, and what I'm trying to get at, is maybe you don't notice it if you're somebody who just like plays video games for a few hours each day, and then you also are on TikTok for a few hours each day. Like, those are not activities that require too much of a brain power. But what could show up is maybe the game you're playing, maybe you're getting more angry than you would otherwise at it. But in that case, it's like kind of a higher dopamine, because I mean, your performance might be, well, I think it's probably well documented. Like, if you slept poorly and you're playing a competitive game, then you probably are going to perform worse. Like, I'm sure if you cross-examined like somebody with perfect sleep and then somebody with even just like 2 hours less than usual across like multiple days, I think the performance of the performance of the person with the sleep would just do better if they, two people of roughly the same skill. I'm certain of that, for an esports game. But what I'm saying is the frustration, the anger, the patience is going to be worse. And that's what a lot of these people don't understand, um, because they're not even like in touch with themselves because they're just inundated with stimulation like all the time, always on their phone, always stimulated, never having like moments of silence, moments of thought, moments of reflection. And not everybody's like this. There's lots of people that still engage in these hyper stimulating circumstances, and they actually do still have like a thoughtful mind or a reflective mind. It's not like everybody is dealing with the same brain, and obviously some people are better or worse on bad sleep than others, but like in my case, again, it could be like I've talked about, I never got to talk to AI about it. I actually want to now. Hopefully I will today. But it's like, you know, if I'm more sensitive to poor sleep, is that good or bad genetics? Because on one hand, it would show up as like, well, I mean, that's good. Like you get tired consistently and you sleep more consistently than most people, like just with putting zero effort into even trying, like that's good. But then on the same side, and on the other hand, the same side, that doesn't even, on the other, on the other hand, it's like, even if I miss an hour or 2 hours of sleep, like I'm gonna feel that. I'm not gonna be feeling good, and I might start crashing, and stuff like that. Whereas there's other people who are just able to muscle through it. So again, the question is, what actually is better genetics? Like what genetics is actually better? That's the obvious question, you know. So, because again, to me, it kind of feels like, you would want genetics that, like, you can sleep good and consistently, but if you needed to stay up, your body would still have the vitality to muscle through that. I don't think my body's got that vitality. Like, if my body doesn't get the right amount of sleep, I will be crashing. Although, to be fair, things have been pretty good because for a while, I kind of had to like nap and stuff, and I don't really take naps anymore. For a while, I would kind of be like dozing off at work. I think when I was in my like mania, no, it wasn't even the mania. It was just when I was doing like stupid staying up, because I did for a brief period of time, and that would be happening. But I think even in my mania, when I was getting like, well, I always want to say my alleged mania because it's not canon that it's actually a manic episode, but you know, I think there was enough indicators for that. But anyways, in my alleged mania, I it's not even I really should just probably say more stuff and not have to be all like politically correct about the ways I word things. Like I don't even know how much people care. I just don't want to like misconstrue people that like I have an actual diagnosis, because I don't. Um, but during the mania, I think I was getting like 5 to 6 hours of sleep. So probably like 5 and something minutes for a few weeks during the peak of it. And I think during that time, all I would do is take like one nap on the weekend, That was like something I got into the habit of doing. But yeah, I was hoping that I'd be able to maintain that, but I don't think so. I think my sleep gene, it's probably above average because, for example, today I only got 6.5, but I would say my usual range is like 6.5 to 7.5, and I actually feel like pretty good on that amount of sleep. Like I mean, I'd like to get closer to 8, but my body, like, it just doesn't really happen. Like, without trying, I feel like I kind of cap out at 7.5. Like, even if it's the weekend, I mean, there might be, no, like, I don't know. I think even when I sleep in, it's like I don't really think I crack 8. I just don't think, like, even on the weekend, even when I can sleep in, I feel like 7.5. It's just kind of where my body's at, you know? So I kind of wonder, but I mean, I would like to push it to 8. It literally, like, hasn't happened, whether I'm working or whether it's on the weekend. Like, it's just not, it's not materializing, the 8 hours of sleep thing. I think in the past year I only got 8 hours, like, well, like last year, 2025. I want to say I only got 8 hours of sleep, like, maybe 4 days out of the year or 3 days. Like, it just doesn't materialize. It's not like I'm trying to resist it or trying to do it, but it doesn't materialize. So, but yeah, the 6.5 thing, I'd rather not get 6.5. Although at least right now I'm fine, but it's usually towards the end of my drive that I start to get tired. So, but actually, like, right now I feel relatively fine. It was just like waking up was not good, which is why I'm later than I would have liked to be. So we're actually gonna be like, my guess is about 4 minutes later than yesterday. It's my loose guess, but I'm not really putting too much thought into that. Anyways, but yeah, so I don't know, but some people, like, they need a lot more sleep than that, I think, to have a similar level of functioning. So I don't I don't know that it's too crazy. Like, I probably am just getting like a good length of sleep. The other thing too is I don't really work out. Like, I just walk. So there's just not really, like, I have a feeling if I worked out, I'd probably sleep a little longer. That's like another pretty big thing. Probably would sleep better as well. And I want to work on that, but with the amount of hours I work and just, other did other and I it's not really an excuse, but I'm not into it anyway. Like, I'm into running, but yeah, hopefully we'll get there. Hopefully, that's really what I have to say. Hopefully we'll get there. I just, I keep having that as a goal, but sadly it, like, don't, it's just not my thing. It's not my thing to do. It never was. I tried to change that, but hasn't gone too well. It's a lot of extra effort and all that. So, but yeah, I really got to figure that out, because, like, it's just not a good thing to not be exercising. I still have time because I'm young. It doesn't matter as much when you're young, but that's definitely going to catch up to me. So, a lot of people are like that too, where, like, I just don't understand, like, people really, like, it twists my mind and it frustrates me just how, like, committed to opinion and not listening they are. Like, I just don't understand it. Like, it really stresses me out, because it's like there's these people in power who do not adhere to any kind of logic or reason or like anything. I mean, it's horrible. Like, I just don't, and then like you're trying to talk to someone about something, and instead of going with the very like vetted and accepted truth and science of sleep, they're trying to argue with you about how like it's fine that they only get 6 hours, or like if one day they get 4, one day they get 8, and they just want to like ride on that and act like it's fine or get like mad at you like. And I know all these things about the unsolicited advice and blah blah, but like these are the things I like to talk about. Like I like to talk about real stuff, so I'm not trying to give advice. I'm just like, this is just what I want to talk about. I'm not trying to give any advice. So, but that's what I have to remember, I guess, like for a lot of people, it's like because if I didn't have good sleep, I would be worse than I'm at now in terms of what I have the patience for. What, like, so my patience is usually pretty good in comparison to other people, although I do get impatient over the little things. And it's because I think there's certain things that, like, if they're so easy to, well, even that can, yeah, because that's relative too. Um, whoa. But yeah, it's just like frustrating. Like, I don't know. Because I want to have like real conversations with people. And like, if they're trying to criticize something I do, I'm open ears to that. Like, I would want to know, or I would want to. And I'm real, like, it's people are not at that level, like, at all. It's just like they don't want to hear anything that's criticizing anything they do. And it's ridiculous to me. I don't know if it's just the people I've encountered, but yeah, it's just like, I just don't know. I have no idea. But it sure is frustrating. I never really looked up either, but like why my car definitely gets worse mile per gallon in the winter. I don't know if it's just like a new car thing or what it really is, but it's weird. Because that was always my theory, is it's like, what if the tricks that they do to make the newer cars more fuel efficient, what if that has some like caveats in the cold temperature or something? That was always like what I figured or what I thought. Um so But I have no idea if that's, I never looked it up, sadly. But I just noted, I mean, like, it's not even close. And whenever the weather is like, just, medium temperatures, the mile per gallon's the best. And then when it's, yeah, like, I don't get it at all. Just don't understand. But now the main thing I want to ask is the sleep thing. Because I think in a way it's almost more like just like being in tune with your body kind of thing. Like some people aren't, and it's like, it's great if they're awake, but they're doing a lot of damage. So like I think there is a difference with that. But yeah, it is what it is, I suppose. It is what it is. Besides all that, I think I've kind of had a cold this whole time. Oh, I did mention it. My throat's been a little bit off. I keep forgetting to. Well, I don't know that I'm really forgetting. I'm just not doing it. The whole thing with the honey and stuff. I want to, and hopefully next winter, really starting this winter, I think it's a good idea to just preemptively have honey before bed, a saltwater rinse when I wake up. These are like things that I heard were very good for throat related things, which I seem to be somewhat prone to. Nothing major, just like minor little throat kind of things. Probably because probably because of how much I talk, if we're being honest. But yeah, won't have that problem when we can record thoughts. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just mention what I'm randomly, because I'm having more like, thoughts come through again. But I'm just thinking about the Neuralink and how, I used to be one of those people that was really against it, but now I'm definitely interested in it. But I'm thinking, like, I don't know that I'd really want to be one of the first people to get it. Um, I'm not sure. And it also depends on like money, because I'm not really that rich. And if it's like a really expensive thing to put in, it's like, I don't really. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know how much I agree with that. Well, how much I'd just be able to afford it, but yeah, I guess I wouldn't be agreeing with it either, but mainly just talking about like being able to afford it. I don't think that I would really be able to. So, yeah, two reasons. Because, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they would do testing on, tech implant stuff, but you still really, you probably wouldn't know until after they're, and I mean, a part of me really does want to be on the cutting edge, but I think it just depends. Really depends on how, because it is something a little bit more dangerous than usual, but definitely want to be on the cutting edge for sure. So that's why I'm like kind of torn about how I feel about it, because I think my mind really would like to have that cutting edge thing. And that's kind of what I want in my heart, but my mind is also telling me like, well, that's something to be a little bit more skeptical of, and maybe you should wait on. I don't know what this guy's doing. He has his like high beams on, it looks like, and I'm very like ticked off about it. I mean, they're not like super new high beams, so they're not as bright as they could be, and they're yellow at least. They're not that clear white, but I don't know what this guy's doing, because I definitely, those gotta be high beams. Like, I don't understand what this guy's doing. But yeah, it's actually not as annoying as some of the newer, like, if somebody's got high beams on you and it's like a newer car, that's just like terrible. But yeah, like, he's not even that close to me, so it's weird. I don't know why he has, I mean, they've got to be high beams. Like, I'm not just like saying that. Like, those things are high. Well, they're gone now. I don't know if the guy's not driving next to me anymore or what happened, but put on my turn signal. I didn't really need to, but it's not like that crazy or that drastic. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, interacting with other people, it's difficult. It's very difficult, because I don't get it half the time. It's like half the time it's just like, what are we doing? That's like half the time how it is. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, on a lot of these tangents, I feel like I'm talking down to others or things, but anymore, I mean, it's fair game for myself. Like, I don't know. I'm not really, I'm not at my peak. Like, I feel like I gotta step it up. That's how I feel. I don't really feel like I'm on it. Well, um, this light. I hate, I'm serious, these lights. I don't even think they have the lights, like, set up properly either. Like, they have them pretty swift. That's what I don't like. Light transitions should be slower than they are. Um, but they have to optimize for the median, and I guess that's tricky to do because the median driver doesn't really care about, taking care of their car or anything like that. Now, I know that's what they're doing, but it's still frustrating because it's definitely just not like enough of a thing. Because, like, the speed, like, even given the speed limit, the speed that I'd have to stop is, like, it seems like it's not really long enough. I don't know. I know for highways, they have them programmed for longer. Well, not when it's a highway, but when it's, like, sort of a highway and there's lights and it's, like, a high speed limit. They do give you like a much longer yellow light. But I'm going to be honest, what I'm just thinking of now, it's possible that there's a lot of lights that are just kind of randomly programmed and it's not really that like smart or anything. I think that's actually just like completely possible. So I may be saying all this stuff, and whoever's ever in like charge of that light or whatever, it might just be some random configuration that like just doesn't make sense, and it's just not well thought out. That's just like entirely possible. So yep, it's like I don't know what else is new. Yeah, we're only 2 minutes later than yesterday, so I want to say yesterday my light luck wasn't great. That's what I want to say. Um, Not really sure. Yeah, I guess things can just vary. Maybe I was driving faster today a little bit, but well, I'll take it. uh, well, I think that it's binge law, and now it's time to buy schla. So, see you, schla.